Hello fellow cineenthusiasts and welcome to a Let's Get Reels movie review. Today's movie I will be reviewing is Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. Now, normally I don't like movies that are geared towards teens. I don't think I've ever really liked them. Some of the teen movies that were out when I was younger were pretty good compared to the ones that are made today, and I will not tell you how long ago that was. And there's something about the ones that are made today that just don't catch attention, really. But I had actually seen the book in the library. I work in a library, and I had actually shelved the book, Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, that the movie is based off of. And I remember thinking, I'm like, what a weird title this is. Like, Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl? Really? Like, have figured that the story wasn't going to be that interesting. And I think I may have read the back and I was like, alright, whatever. And I put it away. And honestly, I remember, I think I shelved it a few months ago and I haven't seen it since. So apparently it's really popular, either because of the movie or just because it's a popular book. Right away, from the time it started, actually, I really liked it. I thought it was interesting how it started off, and the main character's name is Greg. And he's a senior in high school, and he's not a loner, but he's really kind of odd. He's not your typical, like, loner in a movie where it's like, oh, I wish I had friends, I wish I was popular, or, you know, I'd have weird parents type of deal. I mean, this is typical of a teen movie, he does have weird parents, but anyway. So Greg is he's gone his whole 4 years not really being noticed. That was his goal. He didn't want to be noticed by anyone. He just wanted to get through high school, not be classified either as like a nerd or a jock or whatever stereotypes are in high school. He just floated. He just kind of floated through high school. He had one friend who he called his co-worker, named Earl. And they've been friends since they were little, but Greg never considered Earl his friend. Like I said, he was a co-worker. They were friends, and they talked to each other in school. They actually sit together in their history teacher's office and watch movies on his computer instead of going and talking to anybody else and having anybody know who they really are. So one day, Greg comes home from school and his mom tells him that this girl Rachel, who he might know through another friend, is sick. She has just found out that she has leukemia, and like any mother would probably do, like, she makes him go over to Rachel's house and like become friends with her, like, out of pity. Like, that is the worst thing anybody could do, is like to be forced to go and see someone out of pity. Like, his mom forced him to go over and try and like be friends with this girl just because she was sick, and he got it. I mean, Greg is a smart kid. He got it. He knew what his mom was trying to do, and he fought it. Good kid. He fought his mom, you know, telling him, oh, go over and talk to her and keep her company. Like, come on, Mom. You know, honestly, think. Like, you're making your kid go over out of pity. But he goes over, and he's not really that comfortable there, and he gets even more awkward because he can see that Rachel knows that he's just there because she's sick and not for any other reason. But she has him come up to her room and just hang out, you know, to make both their moms happy. And they get to know one another pretty quickly. They talk about certain things. They try not to talk about her being sick, you know, but he tries to say things that if anybody were to talk to her about it, you know, like how to avoid it, because everybody's going to be asking her how she's feeling and all that stuff. So after that, like any typical teen movie where the boy and the girl kind of don't get along or are complete opposites of each other. They become friends. They become close. He sees her as this fun person and as this nice girl that just does need somebody to talk to, and they're both kind of alone in a way, and they kind of become each other's company. Typical right there. But what was not typical, and what I did really, really, really like about Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, is how Greg and Earl were film buffs. Like, I say film buffs because they watched movies from the Criterion Collection. For those of you that don't know what the Criterion Collection is, it is a collection of classic films, classic movies. They put in a lot of like art house movies, a lot of foreign movies that are hard to come by. I have a lot of Criterion movies. Last I counted, I believe I have 44 Criterion movies. Maybe you can see some in the back over here. I'm not sure. Really cool. Earl and Greg take movies as they've seen off the Criterion Collection and they put their own spin to it. So they've their own versions of these Criterion movies, and they made them funny, and they've given them different titles, and they put them in DVD cases. They draw the DVD cases like the Criterion DVD cases. So let me show you one that I think it I don't know if I have any that they talked about, but let me just figure out one that I can show you. Yeah, this was definitely one of them. And they did their own version of it, and it was pretty cool. They would draw all this stuff. They did Vertigo. I don't have Vertigo on Criterion. Another aspect that I liked about that is because they made these movies, but they weren't like the pretentious assholes where they were like, oh, we make movies, we're cool, we watch all these Criterion movies, whoa, we're awesome. No, they would like make them and never show anybody. Like, Greg had his whole DVD collection like downstairs in his living room, and he would not let his parents watch any of them. He never ever let them watch him and Earl's movies at all. I thought that was pretty awesome, you know, because like sometimes in movies where there's like film buffs, they're like, oh, we know all this stuff. You know, Rossellini did this in this movie. Ingrid Bergman did this in this movie. You know, Hitchcock had this technique down below. You know, like they get really into it. I have to admit I can get that way, and then I'm like, oh god, that was such an asshole thing. Like, you know, it was really stupid. But these kids were just like, yeah, we make movies, whatever, let's keep it a secret. And Greg hangs out with Rachel more. You know, Earl comes around because Earl is Greg's coworker. He gives Rachel some of the movies that they made to watch, and she likes them. She likes them because they're silly, they're different takes, you know, they're different spins on these sometimes serious movies, and sometimes you're like, what? Greg gets mad at that. He never wanted his movies to see the light of day by anyone but him and Earl, and he gets a little pissy with his coworker. But then he sees that Rachel really likes them and she enjoys them, and to me it seems like he realizes that for the time that they run, she's not thinking about being sick. She's just watching them and getting off of her treatment and just not feeling well. Rachel's friend Madison approaches Greg about making a movie for Rachel, making one specifically for her. Decides, okay, you know, we'll make one for her. So he spends 4 months making a movie for her, and in those 4 months he like bomb school. He doesn't do his homework, nothing, and he was admitted to a college, and then they have to drop him from their admissions because his academic standing is so bad. It got so bad that they couldn't admit him. A few other things happen. Greg just starts to get really pissy, and he starts to get emotional. I think it was just him getting sad that this girl who he liked and who I guess you can say made him realize his potential. I don't want to say that's it, because to me it wasn't, but I don't know, maybe she turned on a light bulb for him. So that light bulb was dimming because she was getting sick and he didn't know how to handle it. He decides to drop the movie, and everybody keeps telling him, like, you have to finish it and all this stuff. So he does, and then in the end he does finish his movie, but Rachel has gone to the hospital, and as he is showing Rachel his movie, she starts to slip into a coma, and then 10 days later she passes away. It wasn't your typical, like, crap, like, garbage teen movie where it's about, like, oh, let's go find somebody to go to a party with, let's go get drunk, let's go do this. It was very well acted, absolutely well acted by everyone. All the actors in it were fantastic. Even, like, the minor crazy characters that were in it, they were all really silly and did a really great job. I really liked the direction. I thought the direction was excellent. And I gotta throw it out there that I like the direction because they noticed from the Criterion movies that I've watched that they took some scenes, and stuck them into Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. I thought that was so awesome. I want to say there were a few scenes, and I think especially at the end with Rachel's movie, they took from Henri-Georges Clouzot's Inferno. And the Inferno is Clouzot's unfinished movie, but there's a documentary about it, which if you can find it anywhere, if you definitely look it up. It was really interesting if you're big time into movies. I noticed that there was, like, a few weird things thrown in there. Like I said, especially at the end with Rachel's movie, I was like, this is Inferno, this is so cool. So that was interesting. That was cool to pick up on. Story is obviously gonna be sad. Like, you know, they try and throw you off in it that, oh yeah, no, Rachel doesn't die. She doesn't die. But yeah, she dies. I mean, they kept saying, oh, no, she's not gonna die. She's not. Yeah, okay, she dies. Like, I've seen enough movies to know that when a story is trying to throw you off, like, give me a break. That was okay, and if I hadn't been such an avid movie watcher, I would have been, like, really upset that they did kill her off. But that was good. I liked how they played with that and kind of toying with the audience's emotions that way. You know, it was a good ploy. Just a different teen movie. I can go on and on about how it was different, and I really think that something like that was great, and I really hope that it gets some kids interested in maybe researching some of the Criterion movies. I can't help myself. Like, I love movies so much, and all the Criterion movies are great. But anyway, if you want, I suggest going to see Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl in theaters. It's not a waste of money. It was really good. I'm glad I got to see it in the theaters, and I'm sure one of my brothers will be buying it when it comes out on DVD. So there's my review of Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. So, as always, keep watching movies and stay absolutely fabulous. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe for more. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you thought of the movie, if there's anything I missed. Follow me on all my social media. All the links are down at the bottom. Let me know what you thought. Share your opinions with me there. We'll talk. We'll discuss. That's the whole point of this. I want to talk to you guys.